And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. A first carry for Samaje Perine. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
The first carry for the rookie, it's Darius Geis. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And he drops this off to Townsend, complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Geis receives the pitch. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Slot. 15, 15. Slot, slot.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw, Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 43 yards in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. give to Elliott. And he gets it down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An unlucky number here, a loss of 13 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now Prescott. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here.
They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Good list. Orange.
Third and long, it's Smith. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Now Austin. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Prescott from the gun. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
Here's Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
Here's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Delvin Blow with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On 1st down, this is Geis. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Smith on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So Prescott to the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays. Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
On the left side, Gallup's got it. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Prescott on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Geis. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The Redskins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more as basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
1:59 to go in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break.
Go to 54, go to 54. Why? Here you go. Hey, we're going right there, we're going right there. 26, 26.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his man, it's Andrews. The 40, the 30. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big play there on the catch and run. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
To throw is Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A huge play there for Washington. 56 yards. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. On the handoff, it's Geis. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. It's Geis on the counter. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Out of the gun, Smith. And this one is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They start on the ground with Geis, and he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. From his goal line here, Smith. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Redskins on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Smith. And he goes down, and it's in the end zone. Smith goes down in that end zone. That is a safety.
And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Prescott now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. On the crossing route, complete. That's Andrews. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
46. Good.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mason Foster coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long for Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Four down. Set. Hey, I'm done.
Now Thompson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Again, a run with Thompson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
Here's Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Austin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Prescott to throw it. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
The defense is going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Now the try here for the point after. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Smith to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Smith now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
46.
Now Prescott. Throw left side complete. It's Andrews. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On play action, Prescott steps away to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott now. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Kill. Hey, switch gears. Regular. Jump.
Back to throw, Smith. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Tressway now. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Regular. Ready. Liz. Fly.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Jordan Reed has it. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, 78 yards. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. So here comes Alex Smith as he'll lead his guys up to the line to go for 2. Smith now, operating from the gun, in
incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, 47. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 26.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Second down, Prescott. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
It's coming now. Gun. Gun. 26.
Throwing. Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Here we go. All right, hey. Check 4. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Being chased out left. And he's got it to Hearns. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 18 yards there and a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more, plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
We got three, fellas. Here we go. All right, hey. Check. 56.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Here's Smith. His throw incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Everyone, come on. Ready? Liz. Regular. Liz. Hey, back up. They're blow.
To throw again. Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Smith, and they will get back to it in one score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. The give is to Elliott. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Here's Prescott. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the stop, it's Delvin Breaux. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Dallas, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire